Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto became the Boogeyman of the Elemental Nations. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this stuff with your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was from all the clans and taken by Obito. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And thank you for all for helping and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. And yes, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Making 2, and Making 3. Which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, you heard that right. Every single day. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode start? The intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto had defeated Sasuke even though he was badly injured. In doing so, he dragged the Uchiha back to Konoha, as he thought the people of Konoha would finally see that he was not the monster that they make him out to be. He was a hero, as he had brought back Sasuke. But he was horribly wrong. They were angry. In fact, they wanted to attack him for hurting their precious Sasuke, as Naruto couldn't believe it, as he stood there in disbelief. But before he could do anything or be attacked, the Unlus arrived and took him and Sasuke away, as Naruto was brought to the hospital where he promptly passed out from all of his injuries. The council, though, well, mostly Danzo, had a wonderful idea to have the Kyuubi under his control. But they had to move fast, as he spoke to the Fire Daimyo and created all false claims about Naruto. And it was a proposition to have Naruto be kicked from Konoha. Seeing all of this evidence, the Fire Daimyo agreed to this, without even paying much attention to it. But that was just a trick, seeing that Danzo was going to use his route later to capture Naruto. Tsunade was sent to the hospital when she heard that they were back, as she saw the bad state that Naruto was in, as she was pissed off as she was angry at Sasuke. But Naruto was healing up fine. As Shikamaru came to visit Naruto, seeing that Naruto was healing up, Sakura on the other hand was angry, as she came and berated and shouted at Naruto. As Shikamaru got angry, for the first time he got so angry. After everything that Naruto has done, she has the right to say that, but she said that she didn't care, as she walked off, leaving the distraught Naruto there. As for Tsunade, she was beyond pissed off as she heard what the council is pulling, as they want to get rid of Naruto with these false charges, but she could not argue these in time, as Naruto would be kicked out of the village. As she was angered by this, but she had to. She had to agree with it. Well, she didn't have a choice. So she informed Naruto of this as he was dumbstruck, as he couldn't believe it. After everything, he had enough as he started to curse. But then he started to break down, realizing that he was going to be kicked out of the village, his home, as he sadly lay there. When the time came, Naruto was forced to pack his things, as he arrived to see Kakashi at his house. Kakashi was unaware of what was going on, as Naruto lashed out at him, as Naruto ended up slamming him in the wall using his body that was enhanced by the Kyuubi chakra. After which, Hinata heard as she rushed off to speak to the Hokage about this banishment, as Naruto said goodbye to everyone that he came to care about before he left. After that was done with, he made his way, where he was attacked by root ninjas. They fought him until he arrived at the chasm, as he fought with everything that he got, but he ended up falling over and dropping down deep as he was knocked unconscious. By the time he woke up, he found himself in a strange place with a strange pod, as Kyuubi told him about this race of beings that were not from this world. As one of them got attached to Naruto and he started to download a lot of information in his head. 3 years passed. The moment Naruto had left, he had caused a lot of problem in Konoha. A lot of sewage. He had backed up all the pipes. And many people in Konoha was, well, going through a lot. And not to mention he gave the shopping records towards Neri, as she saw that many of the shops in Konoha were trying to play a trick and stealing money off the side, as she made sure to correct those in the most painfulest way possible. These people had done so much they deserve what is coming to them, and frankly she just did not care. So with that out of the way, someone has been terrorizing the elemental nation, as ninjas from every nation had been slaughtered, but not just slaughtered, they had been skinned and maimed. She did not know who it was, nor did everyone knew who it was. The fire daimyo in her had spoke, as he felt like it was best to keep Naruto away from the village with all of the hate, but he had made sure to punish all of those people, as they couldn't do anything about it in their title and their money was stripped from them to be given to the boy as compensation. After all, knowing what he possessed, if he turned his wrath upon this village, well, and the Fire Nation, they would be screwed. But still, he had rushed and signed that back then, and that was a mistake. Tsunade was going to use this to get Naruto back, but as of the moment she didn't know where he was. They had managed to get a stone shinobi as they had found him, limping in the forest. As the man screamed when he woke up and said, "Please don't send him back out there," as he had saw the thing, but Tsunade told him to rest, as he was not in a state to talk. When the man woke up back, he noticed the window was open, but it was locked before. As he heard that voice and saw those red eyes, he screamed and ran. As Tsunade was alerted that the man had left the village. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the play sector for yourself, so to begin this new episode. Please, please show mercy, the man begged. The envoys outside heard the commotion as they rushed inside, as they saw the creature that was scaring the entire elemental nation. They drew their weapons, but before they could do anything, two strange objects came from his shoulder and fired off beams of chakra, killing them instantly. The man jumped out of bed as he was trying to flee, but he was grabbed. By the time the nurse came by to see the dead body of the envoys, the boulder destroyer was gone. The only thing that was left was a blood trail, as Tsunade had been notified of what happened. At the present moment, "Do you see anything, Neji?" asked Hinata with a radio piece, as she was looking around and saw nothing. "Not in this era, Hinata-sama. Be careful. If this thing is what Hokage-sama believed that it is, I don't want you putting yourself in danger. If you die, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself." Neji has been doing everything that Hinata wants, out of a loving cousin, as he had been helping her getting stronger in the past 3 years. Still, he could see at times she was incredibly sad, and most nights he heard crying from her room. He still remember her coming to visit him in the hospital when he was recovering, as she was shouting that it was not fair. They kicked him out of the leaf. At first he did not understand what she was talking about, until she calmed down and explained. Tsunade could not stop his banishment from the leaf, as Neji was surprised at that, as Naruto was the reason why he changed from their battle in the Chunin exams when he spoke to him, when he showed him that perhaps he can be freed from his cage. As Neji was upset about that, but he was not in a state to really do anything about it. But Naruto was kicked out of Konoha, regardless, even though he completed the mission. "I'll be careful, Neji. I have to be, if I'm gonna see Naruto-kun again," said Hinata. The Hokage had told her that Naruto banishment would be lifted once this whole business was over, since any able-believed shinobis can be recalled into services if it was believed that said shinobi skills can prove vital in helping the village. Granted, it was all a smokescreen to get Naruto back, but having him back in the village was more than enough for Hinata. She also wanted to show him just how much he has improved. Her thoughts ended as she saw movement to her right as she moved to investigate what her eyes detected. "Neji, I think I see something. Just head east from your current position to meet up," she said, as she arrived on the scene to find nothing. "I'm on my way, Hinata-sama. I'll be there in 5 minutes. As she waited, she looked around her Byakugan as she wondered if this demon was immune to the powers of her Byakugan. She would have thought more on the subject until she had to leap out of the way as a volley of kunais embedded where she just stood. "The stories of your clan bloodline are true. You saw my attack with your eyes, and were able to get out of the way just in time." Kumo will pay me handsomely for you, and maybe even a bonus given how much shinobi they have lost in the past 3 years. As a figure came from the shadows to reveal itself to be Mizuki. You're a traitor to the leaf. You were locked away by Naruto-kun. How did you escape? Hinata said, as she dropped into her gentle stance. You can thank my master Orochimaru for that. Due to his invasion on the leaf all those years ago, he thinned out most of Konoha forces, and this demon on the loose has lessened the rank even more. The guards tend to miss things, allowing me to break free with a few helping hand. As he pulled out a blade, you will return back to your cell, she said, as her eyes narrowed a bit. You think you can stop me? I doubt it, from what I remember with your days at the academy with the Kyuubi brat. Did the Hokage tell you that the damn demon fox was sealed inside that blonde after his banishment? I didn't think so, said Mizuki as he saw the shock look on her face as he moved in for the kill. Hinata on her part recovered rather quickly as she blocked his sword with her kunai. She kept him back for a time, but his sword was much sharper than her kunai, and it broke as she had to pull herself back so she wouldn't lose that arm. He brought his foot up and slammed it in her stomach, seeing that she had pulled herself back so quickly she had no time to retaliate. Hinata was able to flip, but the moment she did, he launched kunais as they had explosive tags. Boom! He disrupted everything in front of her. Stone and debris was sent sailing. As he launched some more and destroyed the tree behind her, she moved and struck the tree down with a palm strike so she wouldn't be crushed as he came in behind her. Tossed another explosive kunai as she jumped back. He met her in mid-air and knocked her down as she crashed on the ground. She tried to get back up to her feet. She couldn't die here. Everything that she has done so far would be pointless. As Mizuki smirked as he started to walk towards her. I'm sure the Raikage wants you pure, but considering how desperate they are, I doubt they would mind if I give you a child, with me being the father. As he had this wicked smirk on his face, Hinata looked into his eyes defiantly as she would not be afraid. Is there any last words that you wish to say? While you're still pure, I hope you die a painful death, she said, and burn in the deepest pits of hell. Sorry, but the only one here that is going to be in pain is he was cut off as he was struck from behind. He looked down to see a blade staff of some kind coming from his stomach. Die, a deep voice behind him said, as an invisible hand grabbed the man by his neck and lifted him up in the air before the thing pulled Mizuki apart literally. It ripped him in half as blood and guts sprayed everywhere. For Hinata, even though it was Mizuki, it was not that he was killed, but the way he was killed. She was terrified, as the man was literally ripped in half. For someone to possess the strength to rip someone in half that easily, as she was shaking at this newcomer. As she saw him for the first time, his staff retracted as it became a lot smaller, more for traveling size, as he dropped the half body. Before he stepped towards Hinata. Are you gonna kill me? She asked. As she looked up at him, he was taller than her. He seemed to be around 6 foot 6 inches. His body was thick and ripped with muscle. His legs were wrapped in fishnet, but the rest of his body was covered in armor that Hinata has never seen before, and on his right arm, there was a blade on his wrist. His face was masked with strange eye holes that you could not see from the outside, but it was clear that he could see her from the other end. It almost seems that there were whisker markings on the side of his mask, and not to mention a single marking on the forehead. Neji striked out from behind him, as he had caught him, trying to hurt Hinata, but the figure simply leapt away. He twisted and leaped in the trees, using acrobatics that were rather hard to use given his size, but yet he was so flexible. Neji turned his body to be Hinata's shield as he faced this person in front of them. You've grown, both of you. Once he said that, he disappeared. It was like he became invisible as he was gone. Neji spread his senses as he looked around. Before he turned back to Hinata, Hinata-sama, are you alright? Yes, Neji. He saved me. As she looked towards the corpse. What happened before I found you? Mizuki attacked me, and I was knocked back into this tree. But that thing, it saved me. As Neji narrowed his gaze back toward the thing had vanished. It saved her? as he helped her back to the village, as the both of them thought the same thing. Just who the hell was this demon running around the elemental countries? Time skip. Tsunade was thankful to see Hinata back in Konoha safely, as she had heard about the infamous demon who make trophies out of shinobis, had been in her presence for more than a minute, and it was rather strange to hear the way that Hinata described him. Mizuki's death was brutal, but a death fitting for someone of his past actions against Leaf, and for what he did to Naruto back then. Thank you for giving me this report right away. Because of you two, we now have an accurate description of this person, and it will be hard for him to hide. She will have the description be written down in the bingo book. It was our pleasure, Hokage-san, but there is still something that is bothering me, and I wish to share it with you. Tsunade raised an eyebrow. And what's bothering you, Hinata-sama? Asked Neji. To be honest, Neji-san, she said, I'm not really sure, but when the demon killed Mizuki, before he retreated, he said how the both of us has grown. It was almost like he knew us. I do not know of a person like that in all of our years growing up, said Neji. Hinata nodded as he was right. She would have seen someone like that. Tsunade was stumped as well. Still, it is a possible clue. And you guys came back unharmed. You deserve some, well, rest. They nodded as she dismissed them, as she sat back in her chair. Even if we do get this guy in the long run, a lot more people are gonna die, from what we've seen so far, said Joy as he appeared by the window. Which is why I sent you out to find Naruto while training, and protect him from such a threat. She had nearly thrown her entire office through the window, when Jiraiya told her that he couldn't find Naruto. I know, Hein, but I can't find him, said Jiraiya as he lowered his head. He tried everything, he searched almost everywhere, but the kid was nowhere to be found. As both of them knew that they neglected their godparent duties, if they were here from the beginning, maybe things wouldn't have come this far. Whatever he's doing, I just hope that he's getting stronger and staying the hell away from this guy. As Tsunade knew that he was out there, because Naruto was not dead, her mind wouldn't even think of that. He wouldn't die, he promised. The life this village had when Naruto was here was so much. Now it seemed to be so hollow without him around. As Jiraiya sighed, as he knew that as well. As he couldn't find the kid and he blamed himself for that. But he just hoped that he was somewhere safe, as he would head out to try and find him again. 2 days later, I miss Naruto, said Choji, as he eats some ramen. Eating ramen reminded him of Naruto because they always challenge one another who can eat more. Outside of his clan, no one else did that. So he was bummed out while eating ramen as it reminded him of Naruto. As he sighed, you and me both, Choji. I never thought I'd say this, but Naruto not being here is more troublesome than him not being here. I actually wish to see a prank with his signature written all over it, said Shikamaru. Hey guys, did you hear? Said Ino as she came to ramen stand. Neji and Hinata encountered demon guy. They did? Are they alright? Said Shikamaru, known of this guy's reputation. Yeah, they are. Thank Kami on that one, from what I have been told. Hinata had a run-in with Mizuki, who escaped from prison, but the demon guy came there and killed Mizuki. Then Neji arrived shortly, and the demon guy left. While I'm glad that Hinata is safe, it does beg the question why this guy let her go, and Neji for that matter, said Shikamaru, as he felt something was off about that, but he could not place his finger on it. Maybe he doesn't kill women, said Ino as she sat down. Doesn't kill women. That's it. Ino, you're a genius, despite your dumb blonde ways, said Shikamaru as he walked off, as there was something he had to tell Hokage. Thanks, Shika. Hey wait, who are you calling a dumb blonde? She yelled, but he was already gone. As Choji chuckled a bit, as she glared at him as he went quiet. 3 days later, Hokage's tower. You sure that your findings are accurate on this data? Asked Nade as Shikamaru was there, along with Shino. We went over our findings twice, Hokage-sama. Apparently this particular individual has yet to kill a single female shinobi, due to his hunt, if you can call them that. If we send female shinobis after this demon guy, I think there's a good chance that we can capture him, and, if not least, kill him. Tsunade looked over the data that they had collected. From this, there has shown no woman that has been killed by him so far. I would hate to send any kind of shinobi team after this demon, much less only female shinobis. But you do have a point regardless. I will select some people for this mission, she said. The shinobi council would be quite upset, and the female variety would be as well, because they knew what this guy did to his victims. and it wasn't pretty. Thank you, Hokage-sama. On a different subject, has there been any word on Uzumaki Naruto? Or if he's returning anytime soon? I'm sorry, Shino, but I can't bring Naruto back to the village just yet, and the Fire Daimyo has been swamped with his own duties, as of lately. Tsunade could not tell them. She didn't have the heart to tell them that Naruto was lost for the past 3 years. I understand, Hokage-sama. Excuse me, he said. Shikamaru stood there though. You have more to say that you could not in front of Shino. As Shikamaru stood there, he had this look on his face. It reminded her of Shikaku, when he had something on his mind. Yeah, I know it sounds strange, but there seemed to be a pattern regarding this guy. Appearance that you haven't seen, or perhaps you're just ignoring it for a certain reason, said Shikamaru. Tsunade narrowed her gaze at that, as he didn't want to upset her, but he saw the pattern. She must do. And what kind of pattern is that, Shikamaru? She asked, as the look that she was giving him. It was like saying choose your words very carefully. Shikamaru sighed. Troublesome, he said. No matter what I say, you'll probably punch me out of this room. So I'll just say it out loud. From what I've seen, I think this demon may be Naruto. He was right, as he was punched right out of the room. That stupid idiot. Shikamaru has some nerves. Naruto is not this monster. He doesn't have the heart to do what has been done to Konoha shinobis and other shinobi villages. No, she thought to herself, this was not Naruto. As she sat down and tried to calm herself, as the rage that those words had brought upon her was so much. But as she started to calm down, on a subconscious level she had probably ignored what Shikamaru was trying to say. The memory of Naruto when he was being banished was still in her mind, but despite everything she could not see him as this person, skinning people, removing organs. No, this was not him. However, the doubt started to grow. Shortly after Naruto disappeared, this monster started to appear. She closed her eyes, praying to whatever coming out there, begging and pleading that this was not Naruto. Time skip. 4 days later, Land of Sound. Orochimaru was upset, so much so that even Kabuto had to be in a cautious mood when he was approaching the Sannin. He had already gone through a new body 3 years ago, and he needed a new one very soon. He didn't have the Uchiha. He was pissed off. Orochimaru-sama, the body that you need is ready, and is waiting for your soul to enter it. Kabuto knew that would make his master a bit happy and angry at the same time, because it was not the Uchiha body. Good. I need to enter my new body now, or else all would be lost, as this will extend his life another 3 years. As he made his way towards the room, what they saw when they got there though was not what they expected at all. The body, or what was left of it, was splattered all over the room. It was ripped in pieces, torn apart. This is bad. There are no other vessels in the sound for Orochimaru to take as his own. Kabuto! What the hell is going on? Orochimaru said. His mind instantly went towards the thought that Kabuto was trying to betray him in his moment of weakness. Orochimaru-sama, I did not cause this carnage. As Orochimaru was about to unleash his anger on him, as Kabuto feared for his life. If you didn't as you claim, Kabuto, then who did? He wanted some answers, and he wanted them now. Orochimaru got his answer as he leaped out of the way, leaving Kabuto exposed. The beam of red chakra tore through his chest, vaporized and everything. As Kabuto looked down before he fell, his head hitting the table as he dropped dead. Orochimaru of the Sannin, you will make an excellent hunt, and your head will be a nice trophy from my collection. Orochimaru looked around, as he could not see what was talking. Orochimaru moved towards the door, as he could not fight in here. Not did he want to fight either, because he was not in a state to do so. But red lasers crisscrossed all over the door, stopping him from exiting the room. He heard a growl as he turned to see the person, with a duel-like spear in both hands. This was the figure that the world was speaking about at the moment. Orochimaru had to take him down, for killing Kabuto and not to mention destroying his new vessel. But at the moment he could not fight in his form, he had to revert to his true form, as he was a large albino snake, made of small white snakes and his giant head. Orochimaru struck forward with intense speed, but all Orochimaru saw was a staff, as the blade came out of it and sliced him in half. But Orochimaru reattached his lower body back together. As he got back up, the masked hunter twirled his staff in his hand as he pointed towards the Sannin. Orochimaru shot forward as he dodged, and twists, losing a few white snakes in the process, what he wrapped around the individual as he started to squeeze and break every single bone in this individual body. But Orochimaru felt agonizing pain in his skull as he was struck by the staff with such force. His head was rattled, as the hunter that he was holding on to was a clone. Seeing that it poofed away as the real one struck him into the ground, his head cracked in the pavement before the blade came out as he dried it through Orochimaru's skull. Orochimaru howled in pain and agony as he whipped around his tail, the snakes all launching towards the masked figure. The figure jumped back as Orochimaru threw the staff out of his head, as he was able to hook the figure with his tail before grabbing him and pulling him close. Orochimaru then opened his mouth as the Kusanagi blade came rushing out. The figure had a canister in his hand as it seemed to came out of his wrist. As he threw it, the Kusanagi blade sliced the canister tip, allowing what was ever inside to go down right in Orochimaru's throat. See that his mouth was wide open. The Kusanagi blade stabbed into the wall as Orochimaru started to back away. He cried, "What have you done to me?" he screamed as he cried out his body, slowly dissolving every single snake dying on his person. Orochimaru roared to the heavens as his body slowly broke down into nothing but a red puddle on the ground. As the masked figure stood there before he turned his plasma canister at Kabuto's head as he blew it clean off to make sure the man was indeed dead. As he made his way through Orochimaru's hideout, he still wanted something as a trophy. Time skip. 2 weeks later, Hokage's tower. Do you understand the mission I'm giving you? If you want to back out of this mission, now is the time, and I will not blame you. As she looked at the group of women in front of her, Mirashi Anko, Yujeo Uzuki, Kurina Yuai, Hana Inazaka, and Hinata Hyuga. Granted, Hinata was the one that she wanted to use, but it has been shown that he saved Hinata. And not to mention from what he said, they have grown. Perhaps she could stall long enough for them to interrogate this masked shinobi. We understand the mission, Hokage-sama. We either find, capture, or kill this guy, whoever he is. As Uncle wondered if this guy didn't kill women because he was being chivalrous, or because he thought women were weak, she had to find out. Correct, however, I don't need to remind you that everyone this monster has faced has all met gruesome deaths, and one false move could be your end. The group nodded. When they left the office, Hinata saw Kiba and Shino. Kiba-kun, Shino-kun, what are you doing here? We came to hope that you would reconsider this mission. Many within the village would fall into depression if anything were to happen to you, and if you were to die, Naruto will never know that you... As Shino trailed off, she took a breath. I appreciate this in the both of you, but I must do this mission, and strangely enough I feel like I have to do it to find Naruto-kun. As if there's a part of myself telling me that going on this mission, I might end up seeing him again and telling him how I feel. While such a thing is rather unliable at the moment because Naruto-san's location is unknown at the moment, but the world has been stranger. Please come back safe, Hinata-san, said Shino. Yeah, what he said. And if you see Naruto, tell him I want a rematch, and that I won't let a single fart beat me. As he hugged Hinata, he then went to speak to his sister, as he didn't like her going out there either, but she wouldn't listen to him. Time skip. 1 week later, Forest of Fire Country. The demon of shinobis, so he was called by the shinobi nation's elite, from tree to tree in an acrobatic fashion. As he came to see two individuals walking side by side, calmly, as they were wearing black cloaks with red clothes on them. These two individuals were none other than Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame. The masked hunter grinned at this generous hunt in front of him. It's been a while since he had a good hunt. They were strong, skilled, and they would last much longer than the weaklings that he found himself hunting from time to time. Hey, Itachi, you sense him, don't you? Kisame said in a whisper. Yes, he's above us. Be cautious, Kisame. There is a reason why this person is an S-rank criminal and is feared by all shinobi villages. As Kisame was prepared to draw his sword in an instant. Yeah, I know. What he does to his victims really creeped me out, and that is saying something considering who I am. Such a way for shinobi to die was no way to meet their end, and it made a chill run down Kisame's spine. The figure landed. He seemed to be heavy, judging that he landed a loud thud, or perhaps he just jumped from high up. As he disengaged his cloaking device, as he focused on it to his eyes flashing red, Kisame could see why Pain wanted this guy to join the Akatsuki. He was very strong, physically, and he was not afraid to kill in a brutal fashion. As for Itachi, he was cautious as a man to prevent him from using the standard powers of a Sharingan, and there was no record of the man's skills, making him an enigma. Greetings, Demon of Shinobi. We are members of the Akatsuki organization, and we wish to offer you membership on our leader's behalf. He recognized your talents and wished for you to put them to better use with our group. Do you accept? Asked Itachi, as he looked at the figure. No, he said, his voice coming out a bit darker than Itachi would expect. Well, at least we can tell Pain-sama that we tried, said Kisame, as he pulled out Samehata. Itachi did not move though, as he just stood there. Itachi heard something as he jumped, along with Kisame as whirling discs whipped through the air, but those were just distractions, as Kisame had to throw his head to the side to avoid a spear that almost took him out. Itachi retaliated with a fireball jutsu, but the target had already moved. He was fast. Kisame had to focus on his other senses to find his prey, as he could not see him as he held on tightly to Samehata. He heard a sound behind him as he spun and obliterated the tree behind him. But that was a mistake. The figure was behind him, his wrist blades extended to their maximum limit, as he stabbed Kisame, only for Kisame to burst into water. Gotcha, said Kisame, as he sliced the man from above, right in half, shredding him, only for him to poof. Before Kisame could realize his mistake, he was struck violently in the chest by a beam of red chakra. It was so fast he couldn't even bring Samehata up. He then felt a foot placed in his back as the man had flashed behind him and crushed him in the ground before swipe. His head was cleanly removed from his shoulder. Itachi realized that this was bad. He must flee. That bolt of red chakra, it felt like the attack from the Kyuubi, and his Sharingan had confirmed it. Only one person had Kyuubi chakra running through his veins, and that person had been missing for the past couple of years. He had to dodge several spears that came towards him. As the discs whipped through the air, slicing through trees, they tear through solid rock like they were nothing. As Itachi landed, he pulled out a kunai, his Sharingan surveying the area. He felt the sensation as he moved. The figure crushed where he was standing. His eyes shifted. Amaterasu, he said, as black flames exploded outwards. Itachi felt his vision swimming, as he was already having a hard time using his eyes on a normal basis. Hey, Itachi. Itachi turned as wrist blades were driven through his stomach. He gasped as blood trickled from his mouth. This can't be happening, Itachi thought. The blades were pushed deeper as they tore through organs, as more blood dripped from his mouth. The last thing he saw was that blade slicing through his throat, and nothing else. To hunt 2 pairs of worthy trophy, as he took their rings as well. Elsewhere, 4 days later. Were you able to track him from the spot that Hinata met him? Asked Uncle as Hana was sniffing around. It's strange, it's scent. It's all over the place, and yet it is fresh. No more than a few minutes. They had been tracking this guy for some time and they finally caught his scent. Keep your guard up. If this guy's around here somewhere, that means he know that we're hunting him. As Yuji ready herself for a battle, Hinata had her Byakugan activate as she tried to find him. I cannot die here, not until I tell Naruto how I feel, she thought to herself. Cautiously, they moved forward, trying to find any trail of the masked hunter, as he was watching them from above. Brave, but foolish, he said. I can sense bloodlust all around us, said Uncle, as it was so frightening. As she glanced around, she felt like she was on edge, like the trees were taunting her. He appeared right in the center of the girls, surprising them. Uncle slashed out with her hidden shadow snakes, but he sliced them apart before delivering a brutal kick to her face, launching her back. As he moved so flexible for someone of his size, Hana leaped on his back as she tried to bite into him, but he grabbed her by the hair as he threw her with such force she broke into a tree. Kunai Genjutsu did not work on him one bit, as she was kneed in the stomach before she collapsed on the ground in pain. His fists, his force were heavy. Yuji on the other hand knew She couldn't fight him in terms of strength, as she started to use her flexibility with the blade, as she clashed with him. Before they separated, that sword, it once belonged to Hayate Gecko, said the figure. So, said Yujiro, as she was inwardly surprised by that. How did this man know about him? I just find it strange that you want to kill me when in actuality, I murdered the one that killed your lover. And you expect me to show some kind of gratitude for that, said Yujiro, as she saw Hinata moving in behind him. Perhaps, though for me, it was returning the favor to someone who actually knew the difference between a kunai and a sealing scroll. He defended me when I was little, and chose to show some kind of honor that no one else had. Hinata gasped behind him. As he flashed behind her, she was shocked at his speed as she was chopped in the neck. He caught her with one arm and threw her over his shoulder. Hinata, said Kurnai, as she rushed towards a hunter with a kunai. It's been a long time since I smelled the scent lavender. I have nearly forgotten, he said. He's moved away from her strike before. He grabbed her roughly by the face and threw her back like she was nothing. As Kurnai girl, as Yujiro attacked him, but she couldn't go all out because he was holding on to Hinata. He grabbed the blade as he twisted her wrist and threw her away before he threw the blade as it tore right into the trunk of a tree, completely embedded in it. Give her back, Kurnai yelled as she got back to her feet rather quickly. I will. In time, of course. The strange weapon came from his shoulder as he blasted all the trees around. In doing so, they start to fall as he jumped away, so they wouldn't try to follow him. As the group watched on in shock and fear, that man took trophies. His trophies were people's skull and he got Hinata, as Kurnai was panicking. Time skip. After getting through all the collapsing trees, they rushed after him, using the scent that Hinata carried, along with his to try and find him. Hana cursed when they arrived towards a path in the road, and Hinata's scent went all over the place. So they had to separate it, as much as they didn't want to do that because they were facing a man that all of them could not beat by themselves. But they had to separate, so they did as they split apart. Kurnai prayed to Kami that Hinata was alright. She had to save her. Please let there be a ray of hope because he was strong enough to kill them all, she felt it. But yet he didn't kill them. Please, let this be true, that he did not kill women. To her shock, she saw him. As she rushed towards him, he was on her path. As she pulled her kunai, but he came to a stop. As she held on to two kunais in both hands. As he just looked at her, unmoving. Dangerous behavior you're showing, Kurnai UI. I thought leave shinobi's attacking pairs. Give Hinata back or I'll show you what the pair of kunais in my hand can do when I'm angry, she said. Really? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But I do not have Hinata. Neither does the other version of myself that your comrades are chasing. As Hinata turned into a log. What? As the masked hunter poofed away right in front of her eyes. Damn it, a clone. She dropped to her knees as she slammed her fist into the earth. Damn it, she shouted. Time skip. Hinata woke up as she found herself on a bed. She sat up rather quickly as she checked herself, but some of her clothing was gone. She still had her underwear on, but the rest of it was gone. She got off the comfy bed. As her feet touched the ground, it was rather cold. As she heaved a bit, she walked towards the door. Well, there was no door. Strange rock walls with strange designs on them. As she walked down the dark path, unsure where she was going at the moment, as she saw some exotic weapons on the wall that was possibly never seen by anyone in the elemental nation before. Across the room, she nearly gasped out as she saw skulls. A lot of skulls. Trophies, along with various other items like rings, and a hand, an old strange rotted hand with a ring on it. As she saw the headbands of the shinobis, as she stepped towards the trophies of skull and items, as it was name written underneath them. Some of these people that she knew when she was a kid. Some of them who hurt Naruto when he was younger. They had been punished to take posts outside the village. But that wasn't really a punishment now, was it? As she glanced around at all the other trophies, it was then that she heard a growl, as she froze. She slowly turned to see him standing there. He didn't have any weapons on him, while his claws seemed sharp enough to tear through solid steel. Having him so close, she got terrified, but she still her resolve. And she had to know who was under that mask because she believed that it was someone that she knew. Could it be? And join the small sample collection, I take it. Small sample, she thought. She didn't remember that he had killed dozens, hundreds of people. And this was not hundreds, just a few dozens, handful. Hinata Hyuga. As he stepped forward, she stepped back. Do you know why I spare you? No, she said. You're lying. As she started to apologize rather quickly, as he knew that she was lying, she just hoped that she wouldn't become one of his trophies if this was a sick, twisted way of him enjoying killing someone. As her face became red that she was caught lying, father was right. I was never good at lying, I was too innocent. I always thought it was cute how you blush. Hinata-chan, he said. She froze. As she took a gulp. Naruto-kun, is that you? He raised his hand towards his mask. I'll let you judge for yourself, but you may not like what you see. Or perhaps you may come to hate me. He removed the tubes connected to his mask. As he started to undid all the buckles, before he lifted off his head, as Hinata finally saw the face of the man that so many people fear in the elemental countries, his face was different. It had a more reptilian shine to it, like a snake. The whisker marks in his face were now noticeable, a lot more than before. His teeth were more animalistic, and his eyes were red. His hair was set in a dreadlocks way. As it was red, the end of it was spiky though, and it was blonde. His face looked more manly, and also a lot dangerous. Her hand reached up. So what do you think of me? As she rubbed her hand over his face. It's been so long since she saw him. As he even had hair growing on his face. It felt a bit scruffy, but it fit him quite well. I think that you're still Naruto-kun to me, despite the changes you have made to yourself, she said. She felt a shiver run down her spine. And be so close to him after so many years. And you're not the same girl I knew so many years ago, Hinata-chan. You've changed. You've grown stronger, not only as a shinobi, but into a beautiful woman. I have kicked myself almost every day when I noticed your attraction towards me. Well, noticed late. I should have focused more on you, instead of that pink-haired banshee, and shown you the affection that you deserve. As a worthy goddess, he said. Hinata went red in the face. Goddess? Me? Why is he looking at me like that? She didn't realize I'm half naked. As she tried to cover herself up. Oh, don't be shy now, Hinata-chan, he said. You have nothing to be embarrassed about, as he stepped forward. As she gulped. What about my teammate, she asked. As she couldn't step away no matter what. They were unable to follow after I took you away. They tried to find me through your scent, but after removing a few articles of your clothing and using a few of my clones with the scent on them with you, I was able to take them off our trail. As Hinata realized that he was the one that stripped her, that made her so more red. But she calmed herself. By now, they've reported me captured, or perhaps dead by your hands. Snappy, we'll call for your head, she said. Not if you return and tell them I wish to become a part of the village. No, you can't, Naruto-kun, she said. Officially, you're still banished. And if you return, even under a mask, Hokage-san will have no choice but to order your execution. Not to mention you killed so much Leaf Shinobis. It would be political suicide for her to let you go without any punishment or probably execution. And she won't do that. And things would just get more chaotic from there on. Just tell the old hag to make a condition of me coming in. As far as Nade knows, we are two separate people. She'll want to know why you make a strange request like that, said Hinata. As she knew that the Hokage wasn't an idiot, and she'd wonder if the two were not indeed the same. Tell her I know all about Naruto's past, and that I respect him too much to not seize the opportunity to return him back to his home, with full immunity on all of his charges that were placed towards him. As Hinata realized, if they did this, if Naruto, use this alter ego to say that he was the reason, or they could get him back to the village as Naruto. I'm not a very good liar, she said. Still, I have faith in you, Hinata-chan, and I know you can pull this off. When do I go back? I don't want to leave you, she said. I know you don't, Hinata-chan. As for when you go back, how does a few days sound to you? That sounds Good Naruto-kun, she said. Well, it took so long to happen, but you finally caught the girl of your dreams. Jeez. Shut it, Fox, said Naruto. Don't make me turn your cage pink and bring up Barney once again, said Naruto. The fox had teased him over the past 3 years, and Naruto had made sure to punish him quite a lot. Okay, jeez. What a bitch, said the Kyuubi. What was that, said Naruto. I said what a itch. I have a itch on my back, said the Kyuubi. He didn't want to face Barney in the pink room. I thought so, said Naruto, as he looked down towards Hinata. As she was holding on to him, she didn't want to let him go, but she really hoped that this would help, and that Naruto can return home, and return to her. But guys, will be in subs right here. If you want to see next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was from all the clans and taken by Obito, and enjoy that, guys. And remember, for anyone this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, remember to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying, talking back to all of you guys. And also stay tuned for their what ifs coming your way over on Anime King. Yes, I have 3 channels: Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, every single day. You're not miss hearing that, guys. Every single day. So just sit back, relax, and what? Enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.